Hi guys, it's Amy with Aim to Plan, and today we are doing a video setting up one of my 2026 planners. Okay, so I've got a lot of supplies here. There are just like lots of different outdated pieces. So the first thing I pulled were some big size, just dividers from my stash. I have multiple months here, and so we're going to be, of course, using dividers. Then I ended up breaking down my social media planner, and one of the pages that I decided to keep was the second half of the monthly. And so I'll be matching up dividers and months so that way I can use a monthly. And so the back of it is all of like these news pages, so definitely want to try to use the other half of the page. And then this is some more of my social media planner, and the back of these are like the currently pages. And so I saved these. I don't know if I'll use it, but I did save it, so we'll get started. I do apologize for the background noise that's in the video. I do have my kids home with me. We have just been sick and just kind of trying to stay healthy, just making sure that we're getting to all the after school activities that we have on our schedule. And so it's been a while since I've been on YouTube because of that, just because of sickness and busyness. But I wanted to also get set with my 2026 planners, and so I had to hop on even with my kids at home. So what I'm going to do is actually narrate for this video, for most of this video, so that way the noise is not quite as distracting. I'll also fast forward through the video so that way it's just a quicker setup. And so we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. In real time, the setup took about 15 minutes, but I am speeding it up 4 times, so it's about 4 minutes of footage that I'm showing here. So what I do first is basically just go through the dividers. I'm reading the notes, just kind of taking a look at all of the dividers and just seeing which ones I want to keep. I did read through all of them, liked the set, then wanted to try to find a set of dividers that I guess had the same style, but it ended up being just kind of a random mix of dividers, which I tend to just keep all the unused ones. And so yeah, I just decided just to keep it as is, kind of mix and pick the ones that I like the most and not really worry about like trying to match the styles on the back. And so after that, what I needed to do was look at the second half of the monthly. And so I do think I'm gonna have to redate parts of it. I think what I'll redate is going to be the left side of the page. And so I'm pulling the month with it being matched up on the right hand side, and I wouldn't have to redate the right hand side. And so then I just match it up at this point, or like find a page that's a currently page, and I just do that process throughout the entire thing. So the way that it works is that for these monthly pages, I am not doing a Sunday to Saturday start, I'm doing a Monday start. And so that top right corner is the first Sunday of the month. And so I'm just using a reference for 2026, like just a 2026 calendar that I have to the side. I'm trying to find that top right corner being the very first Sunday of the month, and then going through these pages and trying to find a currently page. And all of this will eventually kind of be glued together. I'll remove all the dates and just take care of cleaning it up, whitening it out, and kind of getting it set up. But for now, I'm just kind of putting all the pieces together, trying to use my stash, as you can see. So as I mentioned already, these pages are kind of like half news. Most of them are news on one side but not on the other, and so I just wanted to try to use both sides of it. And so it's just a matter of just trying to find all these pieces and putting these pages together. And so it takes a little while, of course. I just have to be deliberate, take the time to do it. Again, it took about 15 minutes to do it, but in this sped up version, it took about 4 minutes. It's 4 minutes of footage. And so it's just kind of a fun process. I like doing this for my planners, especially if I'm trying to reuse or recycle, upcycle the pages. And so it's just putting it together, taking the time to do it. And I like doing projects like this with my kids at home because it's just something I can do and pay attention to them. If I'm distracted, it can just stay on the desk, and it's something that I can pick up right back up. So it's a good weekend project for me to kind of set up these planners. You'll notice that in the video that I do spend some time counting, and so I am trying to track the pages and just make sure that I have the correct days for each month, and then going into the next month that I'm starting on the correct day. So I do have a 2026 planner that I'm referencing for the first couple of months, but then I forgot that I had it, and so I was just kind of manually counting. So that's what that is. And so going into October, November, and December, I did run out of the months, with that first Sunday being the correct date. So I didn't have a monthly on the right hand side that matched. So I just kind of stuck in a random page, and again, I'll just have to redate it. So that's all. Okay, so that ended up working out pretty well. I had a couple of extra pages for May, a couple of currently pages. So I stuck all of the options in here. So you'll see that I did this version, there was this version, and this version. So I'll just, when May comes around, decide what is the one that I like the most. And then once I got into October, I started running out of the monthly pages that matched up. Like I said, I am going to be starting with a Monday start, so this will be Sunday, and I just ended up having not the correct date. I do have to go back in and double check the dates for 2026 as well, but everything up until September, I don't have to redate this side. I just have to do the days of the week. But then October, November, and December, I'll probably have to redate, just because I couldn't find a corresponding page. So those were all there, so for October, November, and December. And then same thing for December. Like in May, I had a bunch of extra, or 2 extra pages, so I put both of them in here so that way I can take a look. I also had some monthly pages, extra monthly pages, so I will again double check to see what's happening with the months, just in case I miscounted somewhere. So I'll make some adjustments, but then what I'm going to do is put this together into a planner, and it will just essentially be the monthlies and the currently pages. It's a nice little snack right now, so let me just kind of show you what that looks like. And so I'm gonna go after the video and just kind of start redating. I'll probably just do a couple of months at a time for redating it, but I definitely want to get it onto some discs so that way I have it ready. And I'm excited. I'm excited to have kind of like a dedicated like hobby planner. That's kind of what I'm thinking, is like for the hobbies that my family kind of engages in. So we're starting to pick up some like very fun things. I'm not trying to do like extracurricular activities. I feel like that's kind of more like school related, but these are all the things that, like, for example, Sophia likes to play video games. I like to play video games, just kind of tracking some of those things. And you know, I don't know, like I will have to think about like how it is different from some of the other planners, but in my mind I have a very specific thing with like books, reading, video games, TV shows, that type of thing. So that's kind of how I've got it set up. I am trying to use down my stash, and so I'm excited to have like basically an entire pile of outdated pages that are, as you can see, partially used, and I'll just put it together and start redating it for 2026. So that is all. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, and until the next video, bye guys.